Hello everyone, I'm Autobot Sonic the Telltale Gamer, bringing something Telltale games, Transformers, and more. When I'm recording this video, it is currently Friday, February 24th, which means we are exactly 1 week away from the release of a brand new batch of episodes of Transformers EarthSpark Season 1, specifically episodes 11 through 18. And with that, this will be my final video talking about EarthSpark before that new batch comes out, and I want to talk about a new batch of screenshots and plot summaries that came out surrounding quite few of the new episodes that are going to be coming this Friday. So this will dump into some minor spoilers for the next batch of episodes of EarthSpark, which this all comes from an official German TV website that has official solicits of them all, as well as some screenshots. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about all this, but really, this is sort of me wondering, the last big question at EarthSpark is, what alt modes are the 3 new Terrans going to have? So, in case you don't remember, at the end of the last batch of EarthSpark episodes 9 and 10, Age of Evolution Parts 1 and 2, Robbie and Mo were able to create 3 new Terrans in addition to Twitch and Thrash, and those being Hashtag, Jawbreaker, and Nightshade. However, by the end of episode 10, none of them had acquired their alt modes. Though over the course of several new videos and now screenshots we have showing trailers of the next batch of episodes of EarthSpark, we do know at least 2 of these alt modes, and I want to have theories as to who I believe what the last alt mode will be. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about those right now. If you're excited as I am for the next batch of episodes of EarthSpark, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first of the Terrans I want to talk about, the alt mode that we know arguably the most of, pretty much everything about their alt mode, is Hashtag. So Hashtag was the first of the new Terrans introduced back in episodes 9 and 10, where she's easily the biggest of all the Terrans combined with Twitch and Thrash, who are the shortest, which is kind of funny because Twitch and Thrash are the shortest and smallest Terrans, and yet though technically they're the oldest, having been alive for I'd say about a few weeks longer than the other Terrans at most. So Hashtag, of course, is really energetic and seems to me like a lot more bold and rule breaker kind of character than Twitch, though she is very similar to Twitch though as well. Of course, as I stated in my episode 9-10 review, she is voiced by Stephanie Lemlin, who may recognize as the voice of Misty in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and 4 Zombies, or as Zero in Black Ops 4's multiplayer and Blackout modes. So Hashtag, we know pretty much everything about what her alt mode is going to be, and that looks to be some sort of ghost surveillance van. So the reason why we know this is because in the official trailer for the next batch of EarthSpark episodes, as well as a few of these screenshots, we see that Hashtag gets this big, bulky purple alt mode, and then in the trailer for the next batch of EarthSpark episodes, we do see Jawbreaker riding on top of a purple van that looks suspiciously like Hashtag's alt mode. So that pretty much confirms that Hashtag's alt mode is, in fact, that she turns into a ghost surveillance van, and that's also further strengthened by the German news site's description of what's going to happen in episode 11 called Hashtag Oops, which basically says that it involves Hashtag getting a brand new alt mode that takes her and Twitch on a ghostly ride. So based on the fact that they put an emphasis on the word ghost, I think that's 99.9% sure now that Hashtag will be getting her alt mode in the first episode of this new batch, Hashtag Oops, and it will be a ghost surveillance van, though what exactly that implies, maybe this means that perhaps maybe she will know how to control her alt mode, so maybe Twitch has to try and teach her, similarly to how she and Thrash need to learn how to do it back in episode 3 moving in. Who knows, but honestly, I'm a big fan of Hashtag's alt mode. I know a lot of people have said that her base form, they don't really like how she's got the weird ponytail thing in the back, but I think it makes sense with her being more of a surveillance van, that her ponytail sort of looks like a satellite dish almost. I think it's really fitting for her. I'm excited to see more of her in this alt mode as the rest of the episodes go on. Now, moving on to the next character that we have sort of an inkling as to what alt mode they're going to get. That is actually the last Terran that was introduced, named Nightshade. So you don't remember them, Nightshade was is officially the first ever non-binary Transformer, with them being voiced by also non-binary voice actor Z and Fonte. I think they absolutely do a great job as Nightshade. As I said before in my episode 9-10 review, I think Nightshade is easily going to be my favorite of the 3 new Terrans. I absolutely love their personality, how they have sort of like a stage theater kid personality, and that they're super dramatic involving everything. So we don't actually know what Nightshade's alt mode is per se, but we do actually know what they're going to look like when they get their alt mode, and that comes from this screenshot right here of the last 2 episodes of EarthSpark, titled Episodes 17 and 18, Home Parts 1 and 2. And as I predicted back in my last video, Episodes 17 and 18 will revolve around Robbie, Mo, and the rest of the Terrans returning to Philadelphia for a night, though apparently it becomes a nightmare. So that really leads me to believe that perhaps the Cybertronian Fight Club scene we saw of Thrash, Bumblebee, Jawbreaker, and Mo battling Grimlock, I think it's going to happen in these 2 episodes. So my guess is perhaps maybe Robbie and Mo are telling all the Terrans about how cool Philadelphia was, so they decide to go ahead and sneak out, go for a big nighttime fun in the city. Maybe things start out nice, but then maybe they get kidnapped and put into this Cybertronian Fight Club, or at the very least, Mo, Thrash, and Jawbreaker do, and then maybe Robbie, Twitch, and Nightshade have to go and save them. So the question is, though, what exactly is Nightshade's alt mode? So, as we can see here in this group screenshot of Robbie, Mo, Twitch, Thrash, Jawbreaker, and Nightshade, Nightshade has taken on a dark green aesthetic, with them even having these bright green optics, which we never actually, it's very rare to see a Transformer with green optics. Usually it's always either blue or red, as we see here. Jawbreaker, Thrash, and have blue optics, and Twitch has red ones. So Nightshade having green optics is really, really interesting. I think it helps make them stand out even more, so to have the non-binary Transformer feel like very unique compared to the other ones. And now the question is, though, what exactly are they going to turn into? So we do know that Nightshade, based on their design, a lot of people have been thinking that they may perhaps turn into some sort of bat, considering their name, Nightshade, or maybe some other nocturnal animal like an owl. And there's a lot more evidence to back up this claim, because if you remember back in episode 10, where Mo actually reveals to Optimus that Nightshade is non-binary, when Nightshade states how they eagerly want to be represented in the plan to save Twitch and to save Dot and Megatron from Mandroid, they ask Optimus if they can be represented by an owl-designed bobblehead. So that instantly made a lot of people think that Nightshade may perhaps get a owl alt mode, which I'm sort of confused on how they're going to look like an owl based on just the design here. Like, I don't see any fur on them, though I guess you could argue that their head design sort of resembles that of some owls, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see, though, what exactly Nightshade's alt mode's going to be, and if it is, I do believe, though, it will be some sort of nocturnal animal like a bat or an owl, perhaps. I think it would be very fitting to make them separate more from Hashtag and the rest of the Terrans like Twitch and Thrash by giving them a actual beast alt mode instead of a vehicle-based one like Twitch, Thrash, and Hashtag. That also leads, though, to this other screenshot we have of Nightshade presumably talking to Hashtag about something, holding this, looks like a comic book. We know from the German website this is actually from episode 13 called Missed Communication, or Missed Connection, I believe it's called, actually. The description of it states that basically Nightshade feels like they don't fit in with the other Terrans and finds a connection in the most unlikely of places. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to wonder why the reason that Nightshade doesn't feel like they belong with Hashtag, Jawbreaker, and the rest of the Terrans. Is it because perhaps they're non-binary? Maybe they don't feel like no one really understands them? Or is it perhaps maybe some other character trait that we just haven't learned about Nightshade? I mean, we do know from the little bit we got to see of them back in episode 10 that Nightshade does seem a bit timid and introverted compared to the other Terrans. We saw how scared they were when going up against Mandroid when they first enter alongside Hashtag and Jawbreaker, though it seems though they do know how to put on a performance, as though they do a good job of posing as a Decepticon with Hashtag as well before Jawbreaker ruins it all. So I'm interested to see. I believe that may be the episode where Nightshade gets their alt mode, though considering here's one thing. If this screenshot here of Hashtag and Nightshade in their alt modes is taken from episode 17-18, Jawbreaker here is still in his protoform mode. Does this mean that Jawbreaker will not get his alt mode at all in these episodes? Or maybe they're saving Jawbreaker get his last alt mode for these last 2 episodes. I have no idea. But that's going to be a nice little segue into talking about our final new Terran and what I believe his alt mode is going to be. So that leads us to Jawbreaker, and Jawbreaker is easily the largest width-wise of the 5 Terrans, but is still the third shortest of them all, just a little bit taller, or twice the size, I'd say, of Twitch and Thrash. So Jawbreaker is actually voiced by newcomer Cyrus Arnold, who is a 19-year-old voice actor, and I think he does a good job of portraying Jawbreaker as this shy but still very soft-sounded Terran, and very reminiscent of animated Bulkhead in that regard. So the question is now, we have absolutely no idea what Jawbreaker is going to turn into. I mean, hashtag we know she turns into a surveillance van. With Nightshade, we are most likely sure they're going to turn into some sort of beast mode, perhaps maybe a bat or an owl. What is Jawbreaker here going to turn into? I have no idea. The only things we know of that could give us like a hint as to what Jawbreaker could be is his name, really. And when I think of the name Jawbreaker, that to me sounds like something that's strong or powerful. So I can't really think of any vehicle modes. What if, to match how we have two vehicle alt mode Terrans, being Thrash and Hashtag, we have one that's sort of a utility Terran, like Twitch turning into a drone, and then we have a beast transformer in the form of Nightshade, presumably turning into an owl or bat. What if Jawbreaker also gets a beast mode? And you know something that we've never seen before? We haven't seen a new Dinobot in a while, and now we know that Grimlock is becoming a main character in EarthSpark, at the very least in the last two episodes, episode 17 and 18. That leads to believe perhaps maybe Jawbreaker may take a liking to Grimlock and might actually get a dinosaur-based alt mode. So the question then lies in, what dinosaur could Jawbreaker potentially get? If we go through all the Dinobots, we know we have Grimlock be a T-Rex, we have Snarl as a Triceratops, Sludge as a Brontosaurus, Swoop as a Pterodactyl. I'm trying to think of like a lot of different dinosaurs. I think one that would actually fit Jawbreaker quite well is a Stygimoloch, and they're like these, they're kind of like a small T-Rex, and they're the ones that have like the big dome-shaped foreheads that they, with spikes around, they sort of headbutt stuff. They were the one in Jurassic World 2, I believe, that headbutts open the door to set the other dinos free at the end of the movie. I think that could, based on Jawbreaker's more rounded head design, I think it could fit him. I think maybe the proportions are a bit off. Maybe he's a bit too fat to be a Stygimoloch. But I think it would be something cool because we've never seen a Dinobot in the Transformers franchise turn into a Stygimoloch. So I think that would be a cool way of making, like, we have Nightshade here as the first non-binary Transformer. Why not have Jawbreaker be the first Dinobot to turn into a Stygimoloch? Who knows? But that's pretty much what I think Jawbreaker might turn into. I'm going to make an educated guess on that. So that's pretty much all I have in terms of what I believe the three Terrans are going to turn into. Hashtag we know for sure is turning into a ghost surveillance van. Nightshade, I'm pretty sure they're going to turn into a bat or owl. And then Jawbreaker, just based on educated guesswork and other stuff, considering we have, like, Twitch takes a liking to Wheeljack, therefore he turns into a drone. Thrash, I think he sort of has a connection with Bumblebee, so he takes a more speed-oriented thing, like a motorcycle. We have Hashtag taking on the form of a ghost surveillance, and maybe she has like a bond with Optimus then, maybe because she'll work a lot with him in Ghost. Nightshade, I'm eager to see what connection they're gonna make. I'm sure the unlikely connection that is mentioned that they'll interact with in episode 13 is gonna be an interesting one. Maybe it plays a big factor in why they decide to get a owl or bat alt mode. And then for Jawbreaker, if he's going to take on Grimlock as his mentor of sorts, it would make sense for him to have a dinosaur alt mode. But there are still two other screenshots I want to talk about that aren't necessarily related to that, but just, I think, are interesting to talk about in terms of they give plot summaries. So in this one of Shockwave, which seems to be similar to the one shot from the trailer we have of him fighting Megatron, this is officially a screenshot from, as I called it, episode 16, Warzone. And according to the German website's description, this episode will revolve around Robbie, Moe, and the rest of the Terrans visiting the Space Bridge Memorial, and basically a memorial dedicated to the Transformers War, and it says that it opens up bad memories for Megatron. So I believe that this episode is going to revolve heavily about learning how Megatron surrendered to Optimus and the rest of the Autobots, how he went across dealing with Shockwave and maybe betraying the rest of the Decepticons to join Optimus and Alita. I think that's going to be a really nice episode to see. And then to sort of do a complete 180, we have this really adorable picture of Twitch holding a baby cub bear in this factory-looking area. This is actually a screenshot from the prior episode called Episode 15, Bare Necessities, and this, I think, is just going to be a harmless filler episode. So essentially, according to the summary, Bare Necessities will revolve around Twitch gifting Dot for Mother's Day a baby cub, thinking that it will be a good gift for her. And then once that doesn't work out, the mother of said bear cub goes on a rampage on the Malto homestead, so the rest of the Terrans have to try and stop the mama bear from destroying the place. So I think it's gonna be a little funny filler episode to see, and I wonder how like that's gonna maybe improve like Twitch and Dot's relationship in that regard. And so that is my last video until next Friday on everything to know about Transformers EarthSpark Season 1B. We are less than 1 week away at the time of releasing this video from the new batch of episodes, which contain episodes 11 through 18. And I am so excited to cover them. And of course, I'll either be posting either the day the new episodes drop, either on next Friday or Saturday. I'll be doing a review of episode 11, #oops, and then follow up with one new review a week after that. So, are you guys excited for me to get back to my EarthSpark reviews? And hopefully, by the end of this batch, we'll have more theory videos we can make about the final batch of EarthSpark Season 1, and then maybe even Season 2, which we know is going to be coming later on down the road. I'm super excited to cover all that. I hope you guys are too. So if you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you guys later.